Alright, welcome back guys. I'm going to do just a quick run over. All I did really is add some sound and some explosion effects. They're not fully tweaked yet, so I'm not going to spend too long on them, but I'm going to run around and blow some stuff up and get shot a bit. So let's have a go. Again, this is going to go black, unfortunately, for a couple seconds when this loads in, so you guys are going to miss some of what's going on. Okay. Maybe I'll die on purpose so we can see the... But when something blows up, there's a random choice of explosions that can trigger. And then there's some random sort of size and whatnot. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh yeah, that might be slightly annoying. The shot sound I chose for the gun might be... yeah. I might have to change that. Whoa, that was a good boom. Yeah, the shot of my my stuff. Closer the gun is to the middle, closer the sound is to the middle of the screen, the louder it is. I got to maybe look at criminal. Let's go see if we can bring on some of these big guys down here. There's a big boss down here somewhere that'll be hunting. Oh, yeah, he's the big. There's the big boss right there. I didn't put any sound on the lasers yet. Just, I really need to... Whoa, there's a big boom. Whoa, it's a good boom. Now, this tells me there's 3 guns and placements here somewhere. So let me just quickly find them. Whoa. There we go. So yeah, that's where we are. I need to really make it so you can control the ship and that the game pauses at the end of a death or a win. But anyhow, that's where it is right now, sound-wise, and some explosion effects. Might as well just fire it up again because this time you can see some of these explosions. They could be randomly set. The sprite actually comes from Open Game Art. It's a set of a couple different sprite sets that I decided to mix together. So I think what I'm going to do now is maybe do another couple of runs at these big possible explosions. I think I'm going to refrain from shooting my main weapon because I really don't like that sound. I'm going to have to fix it. I'm going to have to try some overlapping sounds. If I can get this little guy, he's tough. Whoa! Yeah, so yeah, the explosions can be random, and the explosion spawner takes some values that allow you to randomize the positions and the scale of the explosions. Whoa. And I think what I want to do is I want to have chain explosions, so like explosion has a chance of spawning a daughter explosion, not just all of one in one go. I don't know if I've got that shown here. I'm just going to quickly go here because, you know, the code is not the best, but it's code nonetheless. Just quickly look, there's a do a boom. It's the spawner is the object calling for an explosion to happen. That's the spawner's transform, so that's where it is and where it's pointing. The number of things to spawn by default is 1. The position variance is 5 by default, but it could be 0. And if the position variance is literally like how much plus or minus the current position do we apply randomly when the little explosion sprite goes off. And then the scale vary, that's the variance in scale, like from 0.75 to 1.25, basically a quarter. Scale variance is the default. You could set it to nothing, and then it just plays the sprite animation as it is. So in here you have just setting up an object target variable, and then depending on how many numbers you set for each time you go through to the numbers, you're going to get a random explosion choice. So depending on which one of the 4 possibilities, it'll spawn an instance of that animated explosion sprite, and then it will then attach it to the owner of the spawner. So the spawner, the object, so like the thing that's about to blow up, says, hey, I need you to spawn some stuff for me. So the owner of that spawner then gets the child, which in this case would be the spawned explosion. Then you're going to set the scale at this point, and then you can apply some transform to the orange and stuff afterwards. Otherwise you get this weird drifting effect if you do the scale after for some reason. I think that just happens to do with scales on transforms and my lack of knowledge in it, but in this order seems to be fine. And then once you're done playing around with the input transform, you apply it to the whatever explosion it is, gets applied to that. And I guess, oh yeah, this is where the scale does get applied. So I calculated, sorry, it does have to go down here, and then you apply the scale, and then set the rotation, just a random rotation, because it's a 2D sprite of an explosion, and I don't want it to always look the same, so I just let it spin to a random position every time one is created. So that goes, but what causes the, let me see here, not a bullet, we want a explosion, so I think I put that in. Particles, explosions. Let's just go to explosion 1. So there's this fellow's here, and I think if we look here, do I have his explosion? No, maybe I put it in somewhere else, but it's a set of, I'm trying to think where I put the explosion. I'm usually pretty good about putting the source for the art and the different functions they're related to. I'm going to have to clean that up after. Anyhow, the explosion sprite is there. And if you go to the animation, there we go. It's an animated sprite, so I can pop through the individual frames here by hand. I don't normally do that. I can make it play, and it's not a looping explosion, but I'll make it loop here just for the sake of this, and turn it on. And that's the explosion, it just runs. Right, and so I'm going to turn it off and set it to frame 1. What I do is a little trick here. In the script for this, I have it when it's ready to play its explode animation, which is this one here, explode. It's just an image that's been sliced into frames. So I have it play that explode animation. And let me go back to 2D. Why is that on frame 63? It should be 1. Oh, wait a minute. Turn the playing off. Let's go back to 1. I like it on frame 1. That's kind of like my thumbnail. What it does is when I call it up and it's ready, it gets set to frame 0, so it actually is on frame 0. I like frame 1 to see roughly what the explosion is. Then it plays the explosion. That's when it's created an instance in the world. It runs this once, so it's set to frame 0, told to run the animation explode. Then while it's running, that's redundant, but if it's playing the animation frames, the moment it's hit frame 63 or over, it hides itself, because sometimes the audio plays longer, but if the audio is done playing, then it deletes itself. So every explosion deletes itself at the end of the audio that it's got bonded to it. And then you have this audio here, and each one of them I've tweaked the audio a little bit. So that's a very heavy. And then there's a couple different explosion sheets, so each explosion is slightly different. So I don't want to save that. Don't save them. So, and then there's the bullets. But yeah, so that's where that's at. I'm just going to run it one more time here. It's probably going to go black on you guys for whatever reason. OBS doesn't like catching that. You're hearing them shoot at me. And there you go. And that's the explosion here. And they go boom. Whether it's that one there, and then of course these guys here all have their own So I should have set their lives down low artificially right now, just so we could get to them. Just so we could get them killed quickly. Let's see if we can... Whoa! There we go. Nice big random explosion. These little guys are kind of random size and rotation. But, yeah, the capital ships, boom. There's a random size of that animation. Yeah, I really gotta change that, that shot sound. It's really horrible. Anyhow, whoa, this has gone on a little longer than I intended. But anyhow, that's where it's at now. Sounds, explosions, it's getting a little better. I need to get the laser. I need to get some sounds for the lasers and whatnot. Anyhow, thanks for watching. If you like this kind of thing, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.